Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be performing a stock analysis of ASML Holding. So if you like this video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And of course, remember this isn't financial advice, it's purely for entertainment and educational purposes. What is ASML? Well, they're an electronics company, and as you can see, it says semiconductors, but that's really not the case. They make lithography machines, and you might think, well, what is that? Well, if you look at a computer chip and you see those small lines in it, and you wonder, well, what is that? That is because the lines are drawn by a lithography machine or by light, and that's what they sell. I'm going to show you that down here right now in their financials. As you can see, let's just remove these where they don't earn anything. Now, what do they make money? They make money on argon fluoride immersions and ultraviolet lithography systems. So, and one of the huge customers is NVIDIA because those small GPUs, they need those very small lines because that's where the electrons pass, and that is used by ultraviolet lithography machines. And they may have a huge system. It is the biggest one is the size of about a football field just to make a small point of light. So as you can see, that is what they make. So primarily lithography machines, and as you can see, there's a lot of fluoride systems as well in it. So that is primarily what they make. Now, as you can see, currently the stock is trading up by 1.8% for the day, but however, we are quite down quite a bit from the top. As you can see, we're trading quite a lot higher all the way back in the middle of last year. We almost halved. We actually almost did at one point, as you can see. But ever since mid of April, early April, we have been up quite a bit, almost 140 bucks, as you can see, slowly increasing. But however, we are seeing quite now a death cross, as you can see from this top right here. Well, we hit a death cross right here, which of course bad because this means that the downwards momentum currently is bigger than the upwards momentum. Now, even though that is the case, as you can see, it looks like we are gonna make a golden cross currently. If the trend sticks as it is, as you can see, we're up in the RSI and the 50-day moving average is going upwards towards the 200-day moving average. So if this green line crosses the yellow line, we'll have upwards momentum and a golden cross, which of course is a great technical. Now, as I said down here in the RSI, we are going up. Now, what does that mean? As you can see, there are these lines here. So something is below 70 but above 50, it's in the upward trending channel, which means if it's up here, it's going upwards. As you can see, look at this. We're trading up here and the stock is increasing. If we're down here, the stock price is falling. So if it's between 70 and 50, it's moving up. If it's between 50 and 30, it's moving down, as you can see. And if it's below 30 here, as you can see, the stock price falls a lot. As you can see, that means it's oversold. If it moves up quite harshly up here, above 70, it's overbought. So always be a bit careful when you see it up here. And as you can see right now, we are currently in a overbought territory, and we might see it dip below soon. But let's wait and see about that. Now, as you can see also for this stock ASML, the beta is 1.95. Now you might think, well, what does beta mean? That means how much does this stock move. So if the stock market in this is in, which would be the Dutch market, if the Euronext moves 1%, this is going to move 1.98%. 1.95%. So this moves almost twice as much as its index. So it's a bit volatile stock, just like Nvidia is. Now with a P ratio of 30 is quite cheap at the moment. So as you can see, it's very nice to get it now. And I think it is going to increase, I think about 800 to 900 by the end of this year. And I have to say, I don't own any ASML, but I am quite hard considering buying into it. But I want to see a bit better technicals. I want to see a bit longer rise. So once we cross this up here, as you can see, then we will break through a breakthrough line up here. As you can see, let me just change the color of this to green, like so. As you can see, that is rising laying on tops, and we are currently on it right now. So we can break through this and get a bit more up here. As you can see, up to 700, right up here. Then it's going to be a bit better, as you can see, right up here. We'll be laying on another level. So if you can break through this point, I think it is going to happen. I think it's going to look a bit like so, which would be about, let me just do it about, as you can see here, about late June. I think we're going to cross it. So yeah, I think that's the way it's going to happen. I think it's going to increase like so over time. It may dip, get down again, but over time, I think it's going to increase like so. Now, you can see the earnings, they surprise quite a lot. No, not quite a lot, but quite often, and they do it by a small margin, which I like a lot because this means they are quite in tune with how much money they're going to earn. I can see the dividend yield on this is quite poor. It's only at 0.96%, but this is a growth stock and not a dividend stock, so I wouldn't really pay much attention to that. But as you can see, it pays out dividends quite often. As you can see, both in July, October, and as you can see here in February and as well in April. So 4 times a year is of course better than 1 time a year. Now, earnings annually, as you can see, it has increased quite a lot recently. In 2020, it was almost 14 billion euros, and last year it was over 28 billion euros. So it doubled its revenue in 5 years, which is absolutely insane. And it's very nice because every single company who are going to want to make GPUs or other very, very advanced chips, they're going to need machines from ASML. Now, the seasonals in this, as you can see, let's just go back to 2010. As you can see, most years it's performing quite great. As you can see, we have some years huge jumpers up here, 73, 91%, quite great. But most of the time it's amazing. Then we have some off years, Worst one was 28% down in 22, but then again, 2022, most stocks performed quite poorly. Then we had last year also performing quite poorly at only 2%, and this year we're down by 1. But overall, just look at this. It is absolutely amazing. So overall, the compounding effect on the stock is insanely great. It is just performs very well all the time, and they have a monopoly on lithography machines. There are some Chinese players starting to get into the market, but they are nowhere near ASML's level yet, so I wouldn't be worried about that. Now the technicals on the stock, as you can see right here, for the day, it's a buy. For the month, it is still a buy. As you can see, overall, it's just moving upwards, and that makes sense because, as you can see right here, ever since April, we have moving up quite nicely. Of course, we did see this bottom out formation, as you can see, trading sideways, and this death cross. But I do think we are going to see a golden cross tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. So I think it's increasing. And as you can see in the analyst rating, it's a buy overall with 25 strong buy, 4 buy, 10 hold, and 1 strong sell, which is quite interesting. With minus 26% is actually quite insanely low price point for this, given how big they are in their market and what they make. So I think that's quite interesting. But overall, as you can see, averaged up by 13%. I think it's a bit more. I think about 800 is quite realistic this year. And as you can see, the max is up here by almost 43% up at 970. So almost up to the previous top up here. So quite interesting. We'll have such a bull up here on it. Now, if you look at the annual earnings, just look at the EPS, it is just expected to rise more and more and more. So, of course, a great, great machine. Also, as we get to a more digital world, we are going to need more and more chips. So, ASML is just in a very sweet spot. Now, as you look at here in the revenue as well, it's also just set to increase more and more, which of course great to see. And it wouldn't surprise me either if they soonly would increase the dividend yield, as you can see up here. Currently, it is at 29.8%. As you can see, some years they increase, some years they decrease it. Now, it is interesting that they decreased here in 2020. That was because they made some huge investments, which is, of course, why it fell. But chances are, once those investments have been paid off, it's going to increase its dividend yield once again. So I think that's going to happen within the next 18 months or so. I think it's going to jump to about 1.23% or so. Now, that was my stock analysis of ASML. So if you like this video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And of course, if you want to see any other videos, please leave them in the comment section below of any companies you like, and I will check those out.